Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to my $1 billion GTA Online Garage Tour Showcase. This is the second of 4 videos touring my vast collection from Declasse, comprised of over 50 vehicles that span nearly every single class in GTA. Our tour today will feature 13 vehicles, with most housed in the Vinewood Car Club garage on my first character, and they are worth over $15 million combined. Let's get started. This is the Lifeguard. Seriously, that's its name. Most people call it the Lifeguard Granger, but it really is called just Lifeguard. It's kinda like this other emergency class SUV, the Park Ranger. No Granger in its name, not officially anyway, but I still enjoy calling it the Park Ranger because that's just fun to say. These two are both set apart from other Grangers by being in the emergency class, and you might think they're fairly similar. Mostly, you'd be right. Their stats are near enough identical to not matter all that much. The real difference is how you can acquire these two emergency SUVs. The Lifeguard can be purchased for $865,000, while the Park Ranger will set you back over $2 million. Yikes. It gets worse though. If you know someone with a Lifeguard, they can drive theirs to the beach near the volleyball courts next to the Del Perro Pier, and these spawn. You can hop in one and go park it in your garage. Free truck. The Park Ranger also spawns in free roam, most notably out near the LS Tourist Port in the Chiliad Mountain State Wilderness. You can get in that one and drive it too, but you cannot store it, meaning you're stuck paying a ridiculous price for the Park Ranger. If I had to choose, I'd pick the Lifeguard to go hang out on the beach all day. There's no mountain lions there. I have never understood why the Mamba is a Declasse. It is clearly inspired by the Shelby Cobra. And while Shelby was doing his own thing with the Cobra, he did rely on some major parts like, the engine, that were made by Ford. In GTA, Vapid is the stand-in for Ford, while Declasse is loosely based on Chevy, or General Motors at least. So yeah, I never understood why this isn't the Vapid Mamba, but whatever. I love that you can choose between a hardtop and 2 different topless designs, one of which is full-on roadster with a chopped windshield. While it has one of the higher top speeds of the non-HSW Sports Classics cars, it also has terrible grip in the corners. That means it won't be much use on a racetrack, sitting pretty much dead middle for the class in terms of lap time. It does mean it can be an absolute riot to drive though. It can take a while to get it right, but when you do, the Mamba becomes some of the best fun you can have for under $1 million in GTA Online. The Declasse Moonbeam is based on what I believe is the only body-on-frame real-world minivan to exist in North America, the Chevy Astro. While all of their competitors were creating more spacious, unibody minivans that drove just like cars, Chevy stuck with their truck-like handling and ride quality. I'm not sure that's a bad thing though, because while you can still spot one of them driving on the road from time to time, I cannot remember the last time I saw a Ford or Chrysler minivan of the same vintage. Declasse is keeping it weird with the Moonbeam as well by placing what is clearly a van into the muscle class. So yeah, you can have a minivan that does a wheelie. I'd like to see your Vapid minivan do that. Okay, so I might have been a bit too enamored with the prismatic paints when the enhanced version of GTA came to PC. My Moonbeam Custom seems to have suffered the brunt of my overstimulated state, and I have a design that I'm not quite sure I even like. Don't get me wrong, the Moonbeam Custom in and of itself is a lot of fun. It's a minivan that can bounce up and down and can have a literal wall of subwoofers in the rear. But I sometimes look at mine and think my design choices have let it down. In certain light, I love it. But at other times, it's just a facepalm, what was I thinking moment. I don't know, what do you think of my Moonbeam Custom's design? Be honest, you won't hurt my feelings much. If you've completed the story mode of GTA 5, then the Declasse Premiere is a car you spent some time with. It becomes Michael's daily driver during the portion of the story where he's hiding out in Blaine County to avoid being murder-killed by Madrazo's henchmen. Most people don't even remember the Premiere, and I can't blame them. It can be a pretty forgettable car. But drive one into the nearest LSC and some magic happens. Throw on the front splitter, coffee can exhaust, side skirts, and a huge ass swing, sprinkle that all with some nice wheels and a paint color that pops, and you suddenly have a slick little sedan on your hands. Sure, it's still dead slow, but that just means everyone will have time to stop and stare at your sweet ride as you drive by. Very, very slowly. I don't want to complain, but I didn't vote for this. I'm just a simple farmer trying to get by, when one day some government yeehaw cowards afraid to show their faces rounded up all my migrant workers and hauled them off in a school bus. How in tarnation am I supposed to get my crops in now? At least I have my papa's Rancher XL. She might not be as pretty as those city folks' Grangers that they use to run to the U-tool to buy garden mulch, but she gets the job done. I can tow a trailer full of hay bales one day, pull a stuck tractor out the mud the next. I even saw one doing police duty when I went to a family reunion in North Yankton back in 13. It's just sad can't buy one no more, cause I think at $9,000, a lot of them city stickers would feel gosh darn silly for paying $1 million for a new Granger. Before we move on to the next 6 vehicles, I want to remind you that this is just one video in my growing $1 billion garage tour series. If you want to learn a bit more about the series, then be sure to check out the first video in the playlist. I own more than 650 vehicles in GTA Online with a combined cost of over $1 billion. I am going to feature every last one of them, so if you are a fan of collecting vehicles in GTA Online, then be sure to get subscribed so you don't miss out. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button and drop a comment letting me know which car you love or which one you hate. Or maybe just leave an emoji that sums up how you feel about Declasse as a car manufacturer. Also, if you would like to have your own cars featured in the background, join the Vainglorious Discord to find out how you can take part. Now, let's get back to the cars. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide. No escape from... oh, whoops. I switched windows and wound up reading the lyrics from Bohemian Rhapsody instead of the script for this video. But that does make for a nice and totally not in any way contrived segue. This car is called the Rhapsody because of that. Wow, those jets are loud. As I was saying, this car is called the Rhapsody because of that iconic song's placement in a not quite as iconic film from the early 90s, Wayne's World. You've seen the video, right? Wayne and Garth rocking out to Queen in their AMC Pacer. The Declasse Rhapsody is a near-dead ringer for the Pacer, thus the name. And thus the Bohemian license plate. Yeah, definitely too loud. But thus the Bohemian license plate I have on my car just to help everyone around me connect the dots. But even if you don't know where the car name came from, you can still appreciate this funky compact car for its unique look, amazing customization options, and for the fact there was a time it could dominate compact class races. At what point do you start to question if you have too many of the same car? 2? 3? More? Well, I haven't hit that point yet, but I do own 3 Declasse Sabre turbos, which means you're probably sitting there thinking, why? Well, that's an easy answer. 2 of them are so-called NPC modified rare vehicles and have some unique features. The green one has its very obvious worn Seawash green primary paint, while the red one has a worn Spinnaker purple secondary color. Neither of these paint colors are available through any mechanic in the game. Since I'm on a quest to collect every NPC modified rare car in the game, that explains those 2. The third one, the white one, wound up in my collection because I drove it into my garage by accident. It sat there for months before I finally decided to do something with it. And the design I wound up with was inspired by the 1970 Oldsmobile 442 Indy Pace car. I liked it so much that I decided to keep it. Who knows, maybe one day I'll wind up with a 4th Sabre Turbo. Oh wait, that's right, I already have a fourth. But this one is a Sabre Turbo Custom, so stop judging me. I love the fact that a lot of the original lowriders are based on donor cars that you can just steal right off the street and drive directly into minis. You can then drop just under $500,000 to turn your otherwise free car into a lowrider, opening up a world full of customization options. Bumpers, engine blocks, air filters, bobbleheads for your dashboard. It's all waiting for you when you have a Sabre Turbo Custom. And for a while, a lot of race victories were also waiting for you when you owned one. It used to sit right at the top of the muscle class. Even though newer, faster cars have come along, it still manages to hold on to a spot not too far off the pace in B tier of muscle cars. Not bad for a car that can bounce up and down. Do you like suddenly going for an unplanned swim? If so, buy a Declasse Scramjet, hit the jump, then activate the boost. You are almost always guaranteed to land in the nearest body of water, even if it's someone's swimming pool. Totally worth it though, because it is, in my opinion, the best tribute car we have in the game. Based on the Mach 5 from the Speed Racer series, this one holds a special place in my heart. I loved watching Speed Racer when I was a kid. I've been into cars probably even before I learned to walk, with Hot Wheels always being my favorite toy as a kid. I had subscriptions to multiple car magazines before I turned 6. I watched racing and car shows non-stop on TV, and any cartoon or TV show that had prominent cars, I was sure to be watching those too. So it's no wonder that I love the Scramjet. It also doesn't hurt that it's the only vehicle from Declasse to be in the Supers class. If you could race it against regular supercars, it would be the 4th fastest in the class. Man, I love this car no matter how many times I wind up in the water. And that wraps it up for these 13 cars, trucks, and vans from Declasse in my $1 billion GTA Online garage tour. Next time, we will be right back here in the Vinewood Car Club garage of my first character to take a look at 14 more cars and trucks from Declasse. Don't forget, if you enjoyed today's tour of vehicles from Declasse, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment letting me know which one was your favorite, or which one you absolutely hate. And if you want to see all of the 600 plus vehicles I own, get subscribed with notifications so you don't miss a single video. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.